Good morning and welcome to the Day 9 coverage of the WSOP. I'm Sherry Pluskota, aka Peaches, and my co-hosts this morning thus far are Donna Morton, aka Dark Angel, and Maureen Bloklinger, who we are excited to have as a guest co-host this week. I'm going to invite Brian, Software Brian, who is, I'm supposed to introduce him, I think, as the 12th place finisher of the $500 freeze out, my co host and friend, Brian Pinkus. Good morning.
Seems like you forgot somebody there.
Who did I forget?
Just kidding.
Oh, I'm like, wait a minute.
I'm just teasing.
Hey, Donna. Hey, Maureen.
Listen, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hi.
Go ahead, Brian. What were you going to say?
Listen, it was worth it. I came out the door and I decided to get Grandma and bring her down here for the show, so she's here with us. But I told her you gotta be quiet.
Well, welcome, Grandma, and hope we keep it clean for your sake this morning. You never know what's going to come out of our mouths.
Go ahead, say hi.
Hi.
She's afraid to say hi.
Oh, tell her to stop being silly. She's more than welcome to speak. Stop being awful with her.
This is the crazy crew: Donna, Sherry, and Maureen, and Hex, and Vegas Dave is always in here. X-Ray and Bingo Buddy, welcome, guys.
Yeah, good morning to everybody that's joined us this morning. I see Barry just popped in. Glad to have you. If you're listening on replay, we're glad that you are. Just a couple of reminders. You can find the recordings of our spaces, including our daily coverage and interviews, on my YouTube channel, Sherry Pluskota 9212. Please subscribe. And Brian, what is your YouTube channel? Press that button for your microphone, Brian.
Sorry about that. You broke up there for a second.
Tell us your YouTube channel.
My YouTube channel, brand new, Software Brian. Well, sort of brand new.
Well,
new to you.
Hey, reincarnated, right? So
yeah,
that's Software Brian is his YouTube channel. So you can find his vlogs there, which he released his first vlog yesterday, and it's awesome. But I am going to say my feelings are hurt, Brian, because I didn't get a shout out. I know, I'm going to be depressed the rest of the day for that.
Well, okay, but I did have a little math error in your favor that the real fats would smack me around about. So there is that. So
well, tell us that. I need to know what math errors is
I made a real rookie error, but we're gonna leave it. I didn't take out the buy-in in your guys' cash.
Well,
and my profits are overinflated, Sherry.
Well, guess
but that's
what?
Okay.
I would not be upset if you took the buy-in and recalculated, but that's just my 2 cents.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I'm going to leave it. But listen, from here on out, like I was thinking, yeah, that would be pretty significant error in like the 10K.
Right on. And, what's right is right. Your buy-in should come off the top always. And I appreciate you for sure. I want to get on to some of the things that are going on in the world of poker. But first, let's get on to, we did not cover all the tournaments around town yesterday. So you want to give us the Win and Venetian schedule? While he's feverishly looking for that, I'll go on to the Aria, which today is the 4th. Right. Is today the 4th? I don't even know what day it is. No, it is the 5th. And
I'm sorry. I wasn't clicking the button, Sherry.
Oh, go ahead, bud. Go ahead.
Yeah. So today at the Win and the Venetian, 11 o'clock is the $1,100 no limit hold'em event, and that has a. Let me see here. Where is it? I'm sorry, 12 o'clock today. $1,600 buy-in, and that's the day 1B of the $2 million guarantee, $30,000 starting stack, and 40-minute levels. Second day is going to be 60-minute levels, 7:30 p.m. on that. That's their big event for the day, and then at the Venetian, we have. I had them backwards. Venetian is the 11 o'clock no limit hold'em, and that is a 2-day event, and it does not have the buy-in. I'll have to go back and look at this buy-in. $750,000 guarantee. Wow, they butchered this one here.
Are you saying the Venetian? It's an
yeah.
$800 no limit ultimate stack, 100K guarantee, 40K starting stack. Starts at 11:10.
The other event. Does anybody have event number 23 of the MSPT? If not, we'll come back to that. I'll get that for you.
Yeah,
guys.
that it's not on my list that I printed from the Venetian. Sorry, but
sure.
Okay. At the Ari. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. That's because that's day 2 of that event, so that's why I didn't list that. Apologize for that.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
All right. At the Aria today at 11 o'clock is the $800 senior no limit tournament, starting stack of 30K and a 20K guarantee. At the MGM Grand, the part of the Moneymaker Tour, at 11 a.m. is the $500 PLO 8 Championship, 40K guarantee. At 1 p.m. is the $300 no limit grand stack, 25K guarantee. At 6 p.m. is the $240 no limit double green chip bounty, and that is a 10K guarantee. That is the collaboration between the Moneymaker Tour and the MGM. At the Orleans today at 11 o'clock is an 8-game mixed championship, $600 buy-in, 30K guarantee. At $1,600 is a no limit 1K milestone bank roller builder, $120 buy-in. At 6 p.m. is the Orleans No Limits Super Stack 20K guarantee, $200 buy-in. At the Golden Nugget today at 11 o'clock is a mixed triple draw low ball limit, $340 buy-in, 15K guarantee. Also at the Golden Nugget at 1 p.m. is their daily deep stack no limit, 30K guarantee, $200 buy-in. At $1,800 is their limit deuce to 7 low ball triple draw, 5K guarantee, $200 buy-in. At $1,900 is their nightly no limit hold'em, 5K guarantee, $130 buy-in. So that's what's going on around town. And let me talk about day 9 bracelet events at the WSOP. 10 a.m. is the $800 no limit deep stack. Day 1 at 12 p.m. is the $1,500 no limit 6 max day 3. Also at 12 p.m. is the $1,500 PLO 8 day 2. Also at 12 p.m. is the $1,500 PLO 8 handed day 1. 1 p.m. you're going to be able to play players are returning for the 5K no limit 8 max day 2. At 2 p.m. is the 10K Dealer's Choice Championship day 3. Also at 2 p.m. is the 10K Limit Hold'em Championship day 1. The non-bracelet events today, 11 a.m. is the $2,700 Landmark Tournament. At 12 p.m. is the $50 Gladiator Landmark Tournament. At 1 p.m. is the $250 Poker News No Limit Deep Stack. At 3 p.m. is the $240 Landmark for 2K and chips. At 4 p.m. is the $400 No Limit Deep Stack Turbo. At 7 p.m. is the $580 Landmark for 5K in chips. At 8 p.m. is a $200 no limit deep stack turbo. At 10 p.m. is the $135 Landmark for 1,000 in chips. So that's the tournaments going around town. Donna, do you have an update on South Point? We may have lost her, which we did. I'm sorry, I wasn't looking at my screen, and she'll be back with us shortly. A couple of things I wanted us to maybe get into today. One of them is a tweet and a Facebook post that Matt Savage talks about face coverings. So I want everybody to kind of think about, about face coverings, not only masks, but gaiters and hoodies and sunglasses. And we're going to get into a discussion about that here shortly. Let's talk about the results from yesterday. The millionaire maker, I'm not millionaire maker. Sorry, you guys, I'm getting ahead of myself. Event number 5, the Mystery Millions. We found a winner yesterday. Malcolm Trainer of Australia won $1 million for his efforts. Carson Richards of the U.S. won $500,000 for that, for those great results in that tournament. That tournament started with 2,246 players. Any comments?
You're good. Keep going.
Okay. Event number 10 was the 10K Omaha High-Low 8 or Better Championship. We found a winner in Scott Seaver, and I'm so happy for him. He won $426K for his efforts. Jonathan Cohen of Canada took home second for $284,000. Any comments?
Yeah, one of the nicest guys for sure. I've always liked Scott, and good to see him get back in there and get a bracelet last night. And yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen Scott without a smile on his face. He is the happiest person I think I've ever met, and just really great guy. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say anything negative about the guy. Like, he's just super nice guy. So yeah, he's a great guy.
I agree. I've never heard a negative thing being said about Scott, and I'm excited for him. I don't know if he's on a fantasy team or not, but if he is, that lucky team owner is happy this morning that he won a bracelet. That is for sure. Event number 11 was the $1,500 Badoogie tournament, and we saw a winner from the United States, David Prosick. Is taking home 129K. Matt Grapethine, forgive me, from the United States is taking home 84,000, and from Hong Kong, Edward Hiam is taking home his purse of 56,000 for being in third place. Any comments?
Not on that one. Keep moving.
All right, event number 12, $1,500 no limit, 6-handed. And we have 17 going into day 3 today. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to read my notes and my writing is terrible. We have 17 returning. Go ahead.
6-handed?
Yes, and Daniel Pelou, I think, is from Spain, is at the top of our chip stacks with 6.7 million, but not far behind with 6.7 million in chips is Chin Fan from Taiwan. Maureen, do you know Mr. Fan from Taiwan?
Not off the top of my head. I would have to look at the pictures.
That's okay. I just thought because you've played many of days in Asia that maybe you knew him. And first place purse prize is 439,000. Second is 293,000, and min cash of 17th place is 28,000. Brian, any comments?
I got the wrong event. You're not the 10K dealer's choice 6-handed, right?
No. The 1,500 no limit.
Okay.
1,500 no limit is 6-handed.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm with you now.
Okay. Event number 13 is the 10K Dealer's Choice Championships, also 6-handed. Prize pool of 1.5 million. There were 124 entries. There are 11 left, and I'm excited to see Robert Mizraki at the top of the heap as far as chip stacks. He has 1.5 million. Sandy Tayai, is it Tayai? I'm sorry, Tay, it may be an L actually, or TAYL of the United States, has 1.1 million. Some notables left in that field of 11 is Ben Lamb at 7th place in chip stacks, Phil Ivey at 8th place, Daniel Negreanu at 10th place with 312,000.
Yeah,
So
and you forgot a former winner of the event in 2017, David Bach,
is in
three-time
5th
race.
place. Yeah,
Yeah, but he won the event in 2017.
So
anyway.
guess what? There's a lot of poker still to be had there.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just wanted to bring up the other day I mentioned that Ben Lamb started as a poker dealer. And I circled back to that this morning because, I don't like to be wrong. No, I'm just kidding. He actually started as a dealer in Tulsa at the Cherokee, which now is called the Tulsa Hard Rock. But Ben Lamb definitely was a dealer there. So wanted to circle back about that. Just, tidbits of information because you never know when Sherry's going to host a trivial contest about all these facts she's giving this during these daily coverages. Hint, hint.
All my picks in this are near the bottom of the chip counts, Sherry. I would say here's my order: Ben Lamb,
right,
Phil Ivey, and then our guy Daniel Negreanu in 10th. So,
I have to root for Robert Mizraki. I got to meet him and hang out with him, and
super
nice guy, and I just like to see him do well and take that one home. And when he wins, there's always some fun stories from the people that surround him that are good friends of mine too. So I'm really rooting for Robert. And I would have to say my second choice is, just because he's a nice guy, is Ben Lamb. I would say probably.
He's the nicest. I mean, honestly.
He's everything right in the world of poker, right?
For sure. Yeah. And just a nice guy. And his wife is a teacher, Sherry. So somewhat like somebody that she must be a saint, as all teachers are. But yeah, a lot of look at this field though at the end here. Mizrachi, David Bach, Ben Lamb, Phil Ivey, Daniel Negreanu, and Max Cruz is no sleeper either. So
that's right, and he's in 11th place with 268,000 in chips, and Daniel only has 312, and Richard in 9th place has 336. So you know what? Anything goes, right? And they're all close enough to end up at the top of the heap by the end of the day. So it's going to be fun to watch the results of that one, I think.
Yeah. What are they coming back to here? What are the stacks like? Do we know? I was looking. I guess can't see it here.
What are you asking? What the stacks of what are?
Yeah, just like how many blinds they have coming back.
Okay,
but
so
I don't know. Oh,
Brian,
here it is.
Let me just say that Brian hasn't listened to 1 minute of my coverage on this tournament, because if he had, he would know that Robert Mizraki has a stack of 1.5 million.
Well, I heard that. I know that part. I didn't know what the blinds are. Now I see it. 38. That's 38.
Oh, you mean you mean what blind level?
Yeah.
Saying what blind level?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he has 38 big bets, and down to Max Cruz has 7. So, obviously Max Cruz, and so up to say 9th, Ivy has 14 bigs. So there's some play left in this.
Absolutely, and
I guess
obviously
it really depends on the game, though, right? Like this dealer's choice.
Right. And obviously, Sherry wasn't listening closely enough to Brian's question. For the record,
I'll let you get away with it.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Hey,
Event.
Sherry,
Yes,
do
love.
you? Sorry to interrupt you. Do you know David Bach's nickname?
David Bach's nickname.
I'll
Let me
give you a
think
hint.
about this.
He wears the cowboy hat.
No, I don't. I don't.
It's the gunslinger.
No, I love it.
Gunslinger Bach. That's
All
his
right.
Twitter handle.
I love that. Gunslinger.
Sure.
I'm going to write this down because that may be part of our trivial too. You just
70
never know.
70 cash is 3.5 million in chips. This does not, I bet you if you went down the earnings, this looks nothing like my day 2 table draw in the 500.
Hey, now that's not true. You get Daniel Negreanu at your table. Come on.
Yeah, well, yeah, later on, yeah. He he has some caches.
Come on. But you know what? I don't know who has or if Robert Mizraki is on a fantasy team or any of these other folks. We know that Daniel is. You're racking some points for those fantasy teams, folks. Just for the record. All right, let's move on to event number 14, which is the 1K Super Turbo Tournament, No Limit Freeze Out. And we have a winner, and it's Thibault. I think it's Prasette from France. 197,000 is going home in his suitcase with him. Ron Schindlerhim from the United States is taking home 131,000. Any comments on that tournament? Moving right along, we're looking at event number 15, $1,500 pot limit Omaha 8, high, low, 8 or better. Can you tell I'm not a mixed game player? Yes. This tournament had 1,277 players or entries, a prize pool of 1.7 million. And I'm happy to say that an acquaintance of mine who I just adore, Daniel Lowry, is at the top of the heap of chip stacks with 775,000. You know, he's a crusher on the circuit. I think he has 16 or 15 circuit rings. He's always in the race with the others, with Ari and with oh my god, um, I can't think of the other gentleman's name. That's always they're
Are
always no Ari, and there's one more.
Josh Reichert. He's
Jo-
also up there.
right, but there's one more. Oh,
Oh,
Maurice.
Maurice,
yeah, Maurice Hawkins.
Yeah, so they're always battling for, to have the most rings. And Daniel is definitely one of those always battling. He's a crusher, but more importantly, he's a great guy. So I wish him well. Narek Avestan or Avesyan, I'm going to spell it Tisyan of the United States, is right behind Daniel with 724,000. Jonathan Hanner of the US has 564,000. So a lot of poker left to play. There's 192 left in that field. Any more comments?
no.
Moving on to event number 16, the 5K No Limit 8-handed tournament saw 660 entries. There are 239 left going into day 2. The prize pool is just over 3 million. Clemen Dang of the United States is at the top of the stack sizes with 554,000. Daniel Ucklin of the U.S. has 540,000. Jeffrey Farnes of the U.S. has 349,000. Ben Wing of the United States, or Wang from the United States, has 343,000. There's, as I said, 239 going into day 2. And I'm just going to point out that Ben is in 4th place with 343K. And I'm not sure what team owner he belongs to in our fantasy league, but he's
Oh,
going to get
stop it.
some great points. I'm not going to stop it. This is fun of it, but he's going to get some great points for our fantasy league. Any comments on that?
Yeah, Seth Davies back there in 18th. 18th. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, I'm behind. Wow, that's weird.
And just for the record, I don't know who team Ben is on. I don't think he's on my team. Just for the record, I'm just pointing it out for having some fun with our fantasy league.
Seth Davies, I haven't seen him in a while. So good guy. Used to be a big circuit grinder. So good to see him out there. Maybe he's still doing it, and I don't know. Don't take it that way, but like I personally haven't seen him in a while.
I've not met him before, so I have no point of reference, or I have not read a lot about him or his doings in a while either. So no point of reference, I'm sorry to say. Did you hear about Anson saying who bagged $257K going into day 2 of the $1,500 Six Max, but he overslept by 2 hours.
Oh,
so by the time he got to his table, he only had $7K left of his stack. Did you hear that?
I did not hear that.
I felt so bad for him. Maureen, did you hear about that, or Donna?
Yes, that's one of the articles I posted in my group this morning because, he's a Hong Kongese player, and I don't know if it was jet lag, but he even said in the article that he set like 2 or 3 alarms and slept through them all. And
he did. He said that he set three alarms. Poor guy.
Yeah, I do that on a regular. I do that on regular, especially schoolroom mornings. I set 4 alarms and I can sleep through all 4 of them.
There was a kid in the main event in like 2000. He was a kid. He's like 22 probably, and he slept through. And on the coverage they talked about it. I mean, like he was hours late to like a day 5 of the main or something like that. It's crazy. How does that happen?
Imagine getting up at 1 p.m. after bagging day 1, and you're all, you're tired, but you're so excited. You're going on to day 2. And you wake up and you're like, oh my God, that panic. Oh my God, it's 1 o'clock. I slept through my alarms that were set for 10 or whatever. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine.
Day 2 and on, I cannot sleep. I'm up. I'm ready to go. 7 a.m. If my brother doesn't call me, maybe 7:30.
Oh, that's so funny. I wanted to give a shout out to a favorite here in Spaces, Ronnie Bardaw. He and some other folks own a restaurant called Yohama Noodles in Vegas. And it is a great Thai and ramen fusion restaurant. And he tweeted this morning and I retweeted it. So you can find the link to the restaurant on my Twitter feed. But he tweeted that they are going to be delivering food to the WSOP 1 time per day, and it's going to be Wednesday through Sunday at 6:15. So you can call an order in on one of those days, and it'll be delivered at 6:15 to the WSOP.
I don't know if he's part owner in that, Sherry, or I know that the owners, I think, are poker players at least.
Well, when we interviewed him, he did tell us he was part owner.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, he did tell us he was part owner. And so that's a great option for food. And I'm not sure where they're delivering it to, or, you might have to go outside to get it or whatever. So you need to go to their website and figure all that out. But that's a great food option, of course, for the WSOP. Any other comments on that? All right, let's move along and let's bring up anything. Maureen, you have anything you want to bring up about online poker, the WSOP online, or just online poker? Go ahead.
I have lots, and I have lots to shill if I'm allowed to.
Let's go.
Chill away.
Chill away.
Chill away. Go ahead.
Okay, so first on results, and I have to give a shout out to Kevin Mathers because he's the one that tweeted this. I tried to find the result online, and there's no update at the moment on WSOP, the website itself.
And that's been my problem trying to find that. And that's why this morning I texted Maureen and said, could you look at this? I just don't have the time. And she graciously did this for us. So go ahead, Maureen.
All right. So thanks to KevMaths, we have some results. So the first event was the $550 WSOP kickoff. And in spite of all these problems with logins and freezing and kicking out, whatever, there was 1,544 entries. And the winner of that event is someone called Las Vegas 24. So what I wanted to point out is that with the new software, players were prompted to pick new screen names. So to be honest, I don't even think people know who each other are at the moment. Because, I'm an online player and usually I would have my own notes with nicknames. If you see some nicknames, they make a deep run. Sometimes WSOP.com or Poker News lists the real name. Well, guess what? We don't have that information yet. So it's going to be quite interesting, in my opinion, once we see who's winning, to find out who the real person is behind that nickname.
Why is this reminiscent of a home game online here recently? We don't know who the player is, and guess what? We'd rather know, wouldn't we? But go ahead, Maureen.
Yeah. Okay. And then we also have online bracelet event number 2 for Michigan, Nevada, New Jersey. It was a $400 no limit hold'em PKO. The combined prize pool was $82,000. The field was 1,962 entries, and Ego Player won that event.
Awesome. So again, congratulations to those 2 winners.
Yeah, so let's see within the next couple of days if we see some more nicknames. So if you are into playing online and are in New Jersey, Nevada, and Michigan, your next chance for an online bracelet will be Saturday, June 8th. That will be the $600 deep stack. Then on Sunday, June 9th, it is the $333 no limit hold'em triple trays. So if you're eager to get an online bracelet, check those out June 8th and June 9th. And there's lots of satellite options as well.
Thank you for those updates, Maureen.
Yes, you're welcome. I have more.
So keep going. Absolutely.
All right.
Keep going.
So here's my shilling time. So if you're sitting at home and thinking, oh my God, I have so much FOMO, I want to get to Vegas, how can I qualify? I think many recreational players look over the option of Club GG. And let me just say, I'm not an agent, I'm not associated with it, but I love these stories, qualify for zero money, right? Qualify for your $30 subscription. So if you're interested, I'll drop a link in the chat on X, and you can look into Club GG. It's available in most US states. And totally honest, this is one thing I do once I land in Vegas. I'm on US soil. I also qualify for Club GG. So you'll find me on Club GG trying to get into the main event. There's some great games to play, and you just have to pay one time per month a subscription fee. So I would suggest that to anyone listening if you are living in a state or in a state that allows you to play on Club GG.
Now, I know you're talking about Club GG right now, but I'm just going to look at this as the umbrella of online poker. And, we spoke with Maureen and interviewed her after she won a golden pass to F1 last fall. And she recently won a pass to Monaco playing online. So these are great options to get you to great places to play poker, folks.
Yeah, I love that model, honestly. Because that's what I'm all about, the experience. Whatever some people are, how much money am I going to make? I'm more about like the experiences, and obviously money is a part of that for sure. But like primarily, I want to go play the main event. So I want to play, travel and things like that. That's the fact that it's kind of focused on that kind of thing is really cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Maureen.
So I dropped the link to one of my contacts, Colin Capone. He actually is one of the winners of these main event packages. So he will be heading to Vegas for the first time. I'm going to try to get him on your show, Sherry, to talk about it. But yeah, so basically in for the subscription or a free roll ticket, and now he's going to play the $10,000 WSOP main event. So
That
you can
is
check
awesome.
him out. If any Space listeners have some deals or sign up codes, shill away, drop them in this chat so that we can click and subscribe.
Absolutely.
Well, Maureen, you can put yours in there too. Like I think
I
there's
don't have
something,
one.
right?
I don't have one. This is what I mean. I'm shilling and I don't even make
I
money.
probably. I mean, you have an account, you said, right?
Only when I go to the US. So at the moment it's frozen.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, you might as
So
well put mine in the chat.
yeah, go ahead. Put it in
Go
there,
ahead,
Brian.
You're part of the
Put it in.
crew
There
here.
we go. I'll find it somehow.
Shill away, Brian. Shill away. Go
There
ahead,
we go.
Maureen.
All right. So I also, for everyone outside of the USA, I loaded up GG Poker today just to check out the lobby to see what's going on. And I can confirm, I'm looking at the GG Poker International lobby. At the moment, there's 748 qualifiers who have already won a $12,000 package. That is
So
insane,
awesome.
in my opinion. Their goal was to send at least 1,000.
Right. And we talked about that. I brought that up in one of our first shows that GG Poker as well as Poker Stars, and I gave the numbers as to how many players are getting that opportunity to come and play the WSOP. And I think it's some awesome stuff happening online for folks to get travel packages. It's amazing.
Well, it's
Exactly.
it's really what's been missing, and one of the big things that's driving the growth in poker is just that. So so just a little bit of I'll talk a little, if you guys want, I'll talk a little bit about how it works to win your seat on Club GG, unless you're going to do that, Maureen. Do you want to do it?
No, you can do it.
Okay, perfect. So when you log in, there's different levels of membership. So maybe some of these tickets you get for free, but essentially you play these stage 1, stage 2, and then final stage qualifiers. So if you play stage 1 and you win a ticket to stage 2, then obviously you play stage 2, then the final stage. And so it's kind of like this step kind of format, but it's not as hard as you'd think, like to get your final stage tickets. For one thing, some of the memberships come with unlimited stage 1 tickets. So some people go in there and just kind of like go all in and try to earn a thing and then jump in the next one and so on. So you have to have a final stage ticket. Like I said, there's different membership levels. So I think that that just kind of helps you get, for instance, let's just say there's a free version. I'm not even sure what that gives you because it's got all X's next to it. But if you buy the standard version, then you get stage 1 access once per day. But if you and that's $9.99 a month. And then at $49.99 a month, you get the platinum subscription, and that's unlimited stage 1 tickets per day. So in that case, it's pretty easy to win your way up and into the final stage. I think once per day they have the final stage main event seat, and on the weekends, I think it gives out. There's one or two that give out multiple seats, like 2 seats, and then the ones during the day give out 1. Now, listen, you may be thinking like, "Hey, this is impossible, right? Like, there's like 500 people in here." Well, online, I've personally won 3 different seats over the years. Thousands of people in these tournaments. The play early is what you might expect, and then by the end, you're playing for real. It's not easy in that respect, obviously, but getting to the end is something that's gonna happen if you're a good player, more often than you might think. So
All right, Maureen, do you have anything else to add to that?
No, as I said, I'm not paid. I don't have an affiliate code. I don't have anything, and I just love the program. And for $50 to be able to satellite in for 10K, I think it's a great opportunity for many people.
Absolutely. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk to us about online?
Yes, so there's one more announcement. So the WSOP Online Championship was actually extended to 200 events. 28 new events were added. So I'll drop the article link into the chat as well if you're interested in that, or just check the WSOP.com lobby.
No, we're always interested in the links. That'll be great, Maureen. And speaking of links, I went ahead and put the tweet from Ronnie in the Jumbotron. And if you click on it, the link to the Yohama Noodles restaurant is in there. And you guys can get the information you need from that link, I'm sure. I invited Isaac up to the panel. Isaac, what do you got for us this morning? Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Literally, I myself am actually just waking up. I was up late on ACR. God, ACR. um, but I heard software talking about Club GG. I live on there, so I can tell you guys a few things about them. One thing is, if you guys get the membership, they give you like 6 final stage tickets. So, like he was saying, you can get the tickets by earning them by going stage 1, stage 2, and then earning all the way to stage 3 and trying to play for like the seats or the packages that they offer. But they'll give you like 6 tickets automatically, especially if you get the upper tier, right? Like, because there's a $10 and there's a $50 membership. But there is a secret known amongst some of us. It's on a Reddit thread. I will find it and I will get it for you guys. But you can send a postcard to Club GG and they send you a code and it gives you the $10 membership for free. Because I guess there's the whole law about, you have to give free play. So they actually do give you a free membership if you send them a postcard with your name, address, and everything. And then you can just put that code in and you're in. And then
there's a nice little shortcut for us. So yeah, if you could get that info to us, that'll be great, Isaac.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I'm
Maureen,
on
did
there
you
way
know
too
about
much.
that shortcut, Maureen?
I did not. So that's a great tip for the listeners. Thanks for sharing.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt, y'all. Yeah, and besides that, what else is there with GG? They had this one promo going on. I don't know if they're still doing it, where if you invite some people and you like make a team, you get like access to a game that's only for people that do invites, and that game has like a package for like you and the people you invited to go. But I'm not sure if they're doing that one anymore. But yeah, that's about all. That's about all. I
Yeah,
got up and I heard software talking like as I'm like waking up. I just heard all the stuff being explained and like woke me up like Club GG games must play.
I
yeah.
love
I
it.
don't. I'm not sure how it works. I just posted the link for that too, the invitation. So I think there's three people. It says so. If you and don't quote me. So if I won 3 seats here, it says win a trip for 3. So if I somehow won 3 seats, then whoever signs up for the 3, I think that's how the team works. So, and then if there's other people that want to sign up or whatever, then
Awesome.
do that.
Well, thank you for sharing all that information, you guys. I definitely would be interested in that information about the postcard, Isaac. So let us know when you get to that. Real fast, what you got for us this morning?
Good morning, Sherry.
Good morning.
I haven't had a chance to check the standings to see if my fantasy team's still in first place, but I'm sure somebody will tweet about it later if it is and complain. But anyway, the question
That's I'm letting your tires down and removing your battery so you can't go any further.
What? Can I get a translator, please?
Okay, she's going to do something to you to knock your knees and you out of first place is all I got out of that.
Oh, all right. That's okay. So Maureen, something about they added new events into the online series. And my question was, in the entire series, because I think she just said there's now 200 events. In that entire 200 events, are there any limit hold'em tournaments or any stud tournaments or horse tournaments or anything other than Omaha?
So unfortunately, I can't answer that. So I'm in Switzerland. I actually tried to download the WSOP.com client. My whole internet crashed and computer, so I can't read the lobby. And in the article, it just directs us to look online. So I'm very sorry. I'll try to ask and get that answer for you, but I'm not sure.
Okay, now, Fats, you're in Michigan, so you can go on the client on WSOP.com.
Well, I'm not really allowed yet.
Oh, okay.
I have
right.
issues. We have outstanding issues.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully we can find that information out for you. I have not downloaded the new app yet because I'm like, okay, if there's issues with it, I just don't have time. So if it's not going to download smoothly right now, I'm not opening that can of worms. I might wait till I get to Vegas. But if somebody knows the answer to that, are there any mixed games being offered in the new total of tournaments that are on the WSOP for this summer on their website? So
Or on the regular list. Or on the regular
Right.
list too. I mean, I had looked at a glance and hadn't seen any, but I don't think I saw the whole list because I don't remember there being that many tournaments.
Gotcha. All right. So if anybody can get that info for Fats, he would appreciate it. And you guys know I'm not a big onliner, so it's not something I can pull out of my hat. Sorry about that. I wanted to, Maureen, was that it for your online stuff?
Yes, that's all I have.
Okay. Did you want to talk about, and I may have this mixed up, but didn't you want to talk about how it wasn't loading or something? Did you want to add any more to that?
No, just that I can't help any further. So basically, once I get to Vegas, that's one of the first things on my list to try to download the new software onto my laptop and set up my account because, as everyone knows, I like to play online. I did find out from KevMath there is live face-to-face help again this year at the WSOP near the Champagne Room. So I'll probably have to visit them again.
Well, and I'm going to tell you that I went there for help last year and I ended up sitting there chatting because they were not busy. I ended up sitting there and chatting with the two people running that booth for probably 2 hours and helping them direct people where to go because all they knew was the online stuff. They didn't know what was going on. And so I just happened to be there talking to them and then people kept coming up to them because they weren't busy thinking they could get like information from them. And they would look at me. And so then I started answering the questions and they're like, you can't leave us. You can't leave us. So I think I ended up sitting there for like 2 hours helping them direct traffic. And it was awesome because I was picking their brains, right? And because I'm not an onliner. But I want to go back to that question I brought up earlier about Matt Savage's post about face coverings. So I'm going to read his tweet and then we can open up the discussion. Masks are here to stay. And please, no politics, right? So, and politics shouldn't be a part of this decision. But if wearing a mask, should you be allowed to wear a hoodie, sunglasses, scarf, or gaiter in addition to wearing that mask? Let's keep politics out of it. Give us your thoughts or solutions. Let's start out with Donna.
Yeah, I know some people that actually have to wear surgical masks because of the health of their family and things like that. But I don't agree with full face masks or hoodies to hide yourself. I don't even agree with scarves either. When you put your like scarf across your mouth, I don't agree with that. But that's how they play. Can I stop that? No, I can't. How do we stop that? No idea. It is what it is nowadays. I mean, one time it was frowned upon that we had to wear that when people was wearing masks, like over the mouth and nose, not the surgical ones, but the other ones, it was frowned upon. But now, because of COVID, there are some people that still, as I say, have to wear them, and I don't mind those. It's the others that take it to the extreme that I'm more bothered about.
Okay. Maureen, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so it's a very touchy subject in my opinion. And for example, I think that the idea behind the rule is that players need to be recognizable. So I know, okay, this is John Smith. He made day 2. This is the gentleman playing. So the question is, after, the dealer verifies identity, then can a player do whatever he wants? So I'm really torn on this. I've also been in the situation, especially in Europe, where there's a lot of recreational players, and all of a sudden they make the final day, it's Monday, and they have to skip work. So of course they're going to wrap themselves up because they can't be, seen on a live broadcast because they called out of work sick. So whether that's right or wrong, but I know that's a situation that has come up several times where the person wanted their identity hidden for the camera and for the audience. So I really don't know the answer here. I'm very happy that Matt Savage is bringing it up at the TDA, and I'm sure they'll come to a good decision once they hear all the opinions of the TDs in the room.
Right on. I agree. All right. Brian, what are your comments on the subject?
Yeah, I just want to say hey to Isaac. Just saw you jump in. I don't know what to do, honestly. Here's the thing: is that somebody, if they're doing it for medical reasons, like you can't really police that, so. We want to make sure that people that have medical issues can still play and make whatever accommodations that we want to make for that. And I mean, it's unfortunate, but I think like Matt said, it's here to stay. And you're going to have to deal with it because that's just the way it is. But do I love it? No, I go play live poker to play live poker to be able to stare down my opponent and understand a lot of the little intricacies that you pick up from that. So all things being equal, I'd rather not have them. But there's nothing you can really do. I did say, Matt, I think it was Win or somebody has a rule. Did you see that, Sherry? It's like,
well, and I'm just going to interject for a minute. And I think, we have to think back to what the rules were before COVID hit. And because once COVID hit, everybody kind of went off the deep end. And I'm not saying it wasn't necessary. I'm not saying it was necessary. But what I think about when I think about this rule is maybe the requirement should be that if you want to wear a mask, it should be an N95 mask. And if somebody is ill and needs a mask for that reason, they're not going to have a problem with wearing an N95.
yeah.
And those that would have a problem probably aren't wearing it for medical reasons. And what was the rule before COVID? And that wasn't it? You could either wear one or the other. You couldn't wear more than one thing on your head.
Yeah.
And so why not go back to that? And why not go back and why not just add, if you're going to wear a mask, it has to be and covering your mouth and nose. It has to be an N95. And that would do away with gaiters covering their mouths and noses, right? Because we all know those aren't effective anyway. They're just,
right. I mean, that's part of it too, right? Sherry, is like, if somebody's wearing a gaiter and the medical community says that doesn't help you in any way, there's no medical reason why that would be a thing, then maybe those shouldn't be, I think you have to be careful though, for sure, right? You have to figure out, okay, there's legitimately no reason why medically you would need to wear this. The surgical masks, like, they probably don't cut out much, right? Or any. So it's just, you start getting into this deep woods, but
well, I think that, I never believe in taking people's rights.
Did I mute you?
Sorry, I did. I'm sorry. I am trying to do something while I do this, and that never works out great. What I was trying to say is, I don't believe in taking people's rights away. And if somebody wants to wear a mask for their medical reasons, I have no problem with that. I've been known before COVID, for all my life in poker, I had masks in my purse because I'm asthmatic. And if during flu season people were sick at my table, I would just take my mask out and put it on for two reasons. One, because I'm asthmatic and I don't want the damn flu. And two, then my mom came to live with me and she was elderly. I didn't want to take the flu home to my mom. So I understand there's reasons why people want to wear masks. But for me to meet all the needs, and that is especially for those that want to wear a mask for medical reasons, it's a simple solution. It has to be an N95 mask or nothing. And those that need it for medical reasons would never argue that mask and being told you have to wear that type of mask. And then guess what? That eliminates having to even have the discussion as to whether they should be allowed to do this or not. Guess what? If you need to wear a mask, it's an N95, and I don't see it as an issue for those that are sick or need to wear it for medical reasons. They're not going to argue over that mask because that's the best mask for them. So that's where I am at on that. Go ahead, Isaac.
I don't know. I think that there's just a lot of people that are online players that don't play enough live, and they're trying to like still have that advantage of not being able to see their tells.
Well, and that is part of it. That is 100% part of it, and that's why it's also being addressed. As Maureen pointed out, somebody's trying to hide their identity because their boss might see them on a live feed table. I mean, there's lots of reasons. There's lots of reasons. But for security reasons, the casino needs to be able to see who's in their building, right? And prove who's in their building or whatever. And, it is an unfair advantage for somebody to be able to cover up their tells. My tells are out there. Your tells should be too, right? And so there's a lot to think about. But I think as far as the masks are concerned, it's an easy solution. Go ahead, Fats.
Oh, touch on what you just said about the tells. Just because there's tells, that doesn't mean that the tells were always in the face. Sometimes it's the way their hands touch their chips or something like that. So that's something that wouldn't be covered up anyway.
Right. There's lots of different tells to look
for
at.
every person that says they read tells, they always say that after they make a hero call and they're right. So, half the people that say they're good at picking off tells are only good half the time. But but anyway, on the topic that we're discussing, to me, this would be the solution. Since some people can do it for medical reason or any other reason and cover up their face and wear sunglasses and all that, then everybody should be allowed to do that. But in doing that, if you choose to play that way, your identity still has to be disclosed either by maybe you wear a picture of your actual face. You have to have it like a badge or something on your on your outfit or something like that, or little pictures of you get passed around everybody at the table, or maybe there's a picture of you plastered on your back or something like that, so everybody knows who it is. Or everybody at the table, if anybody wants to know who it is entitled to ask management, who is this and what's their name, and they're entitled to be told or shown. And then everybody could sit there however they want. I mean, if you think you have a tell and you want to cover it up by wearing a mask or wearing sunglasses, you can't say nobody. Like, if your tell is in your eyes, you can't make everybody not wear sunglasses now. So since it's something you can't prevent all tells. You just got to let people do what they want, but as long as everybody knows who everybody is.
Well, and people with eye tells, wear sunglasses. People with Adam's apple tells tend to wear a scarf or cover up with something as they're in a hand, right? And so there are many different reasons why people want to cover up certain areas of their body while they're playing poker. And we all acknowledge that. And we have to find a solution that's fair to everybody. And I think if we just go back to what we did before Rona and then add to it a stipulation about masks for those that need it for health reasons, I think it's an easy solution. But hey, what do I know? Brian, could you look, or Donna? It says that somebody's requesting, and I don't see anybody requesting. Does anybody have that on theirs?
That's an X
Sure.
glitch. Sometimes we
Sure.
see that.
Donna. I wonder if
I
it's...
am not seeing. Oh, Donna's requesting.
It shows that she's a co-host. So I'm going to remove her because maybe she's caught in the matrix because she's been out and now she's returned to
Okay.
Wi-Fi. So let's try to invite her again and see if that solves the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have any other thoughts? Maureen, any other thoughts on this?
I'll just say lastly, like, I think if you need it, you should have it and it should not be a problem. But there are people that just go way too far. I've seen pictures of dudes with the gator, the glasses, the hoodie. Like, bro, at that point, it's Halloween. It's not even poker anymore. Like, try to look like Darth Vader over there. Just people are too extra. That's the problem, as always. Just some
In
people are too
my
extra.
opinion, most of those people that feel like they got to do all those cover-ups aren't that good to begin with. They just want to look like they're good.
Well, and it's all about pushing the envelope of rules. Rules are for everyone but me, and just like the cell phones, pushing the envelope on the rules, and it's unfortunate. So
Well,
I'm going to move this.
that's a whole nother sport.
Well, of course it is, but we're going to move this conversation on to another topic. As many of you know, there is much work to be done in the world of poker as it pertains to women in poker. Recently, Maria Ho and Maria Konnikova were blocked from entering the WSOP tournament area because it was for quote unquote poker players only. This happened last week at the WSOP. The ladies went out for a break, and when they came back in, the security card, out of a field of hundreds probably of men walking by the security card going back to the tournament or wherever they were all going, this security guard picked out two females and told them they were not allowed to go into that tournament area. And subsequently, Konnikova wrote an article, which I retweeted. I'm sure Maureen did too, and so did others, talking about what happened that day. Any comments about that?
Yeah, when I read that, I was so angry that he's targeting females that can play poker, that are bloody good at poker, and he's just, it made my blood boil so badly. As Maria said, and if they hadn't have got a minute to go back to the table, I would have got his name. I would have had his ass handed to him on a plate.
Yeah, I would have never left that area without his name. Trust me, and his badge number. Believe me when I say it. But go ahead, Maureen. What do you think about this topic?
Yes, I mean, the article itself was very shocking. And again, in the article, it said no one else would stop at them. So if it was a case of, the security guard rebutted, well, it was my job. Well, if it was your job, you should be stopping everyone. Where's your ID? Are you over 21? Do you have a bracelet? This is a private event, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So not applying these rules to everyone, yes, that's a bit upsetting. But yeah.
And and I'm glad you brought that up. He did ask them for their identification as well, which is so outrageous to me. And it just, as Donna said, it makes your blood boil as a female. I hope it does as a male as well. But it is like, and part of my thought process is,
of course,
this is happening to these two Marias who are well known in the poker world. What do little peons in the poker world females get treated like? But Isaac, what do you have to say on the topic?
First off, poor guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? He gets the bozo role for that one, But I mean, is every dealer or is every person, do they watch poker? Do they understand who are poker players? Now, if he's just being a dick with females, then, karma will judge him for that. But I mean, come on, if you can't recognize like a Hall of Fame player, you know what I'm saying, and another beast player in the game, that's just poor you. And maybe when they hire people for the WSOP to work inside these places, maybe they should ask, do you watch poker? Do you know what poker players look like? Because
Well,
it's
and
like,
I hear you loud and clear, Isaac. But for me, it shouldn't matter if they were a poker player or not. He should not have just been singling out the females in that
yeah,
crowd.
no,
yeah.
no, and I feel that 100%. To me, that's what I'm saying. If the case was that he was just being a dick to females, then like I said, he should technically get reprimanded or something for that, because that could have been really bad for them if he would have delayed them from getting back to the table when it were necessary, right? There's all kinds of factors that go into that part of it. But it sounds like maybe a little bit of ignorance mixed with a little bit of, chauvinism. I don't know what the right word would be, right? Just so sad. And I love Maria dearly, and so this hurts me. This hurts me.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It is.
Honestly,
It
it's
is.
so disgusting. We're going to let Fats have some say. Go ahead, bud.
Well, this is the first I'm hearing of it. As sad as it is, I think it's hilarious that it happened. Not hilarious, but you know what I'm saying. And
Right.
I think that what I would have done if I was in their position, if you really want to make a big deal about it, or instead of trying to just say, well, look, I tell you what you could do. I'm going to my table because they're about to restart the tournament. You can shoot me if you want. See you later. And I'd have just kept on walking. That's what I would have said.
Yeah, I hear you. And I'm telling you, I would have never left that area without his fucking name. Excuse my language. And I posted a link up at the top. I posted Konikova's tweet. So if anybody's interested in looking at that a little bit further, Brian, did you have any more comments on that?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, that's the comment. It's crazy. It's like you want to believe like people have common sense and whatever, but it's just
They keep proving us wrong, Brian.
Pretty absurd. I mean, the one silver lining is it wasn't another poker player, at least. So, I've heard dumb things out of the mouths of some of the legends of the game. Let's just put it that way, right? So yeah, I mean, it's at least if there's a silver lining, it's not another one of those situations. But yeah, pretty dumb. And I'm Grandma's back here, and Grandma's the original goat. She Fats, you may think you're the old time gambler, but Grandma here was playing blackjack tournaments back in the 70s and 80s. So
didn't she come in second in a blackjack tournament, if my memory serves me correctly?
Yeah, there was that one time I was telling him about your time and a half. She forgot to calculate time and a half on the last round, and the guy got dealt a blackjack. But she got a trip to Hawaii, Sherry. So
that's awesome. Go, Grandma, go.
Yeah, and she's still got these articles. I should post them. So you guys can see. It's pretty funny.
We would love that.
Yeah.
Donna's had her hand up. Go ahead, Donna.
Yeah, I'm back on my laptop. I've just had another thought, with him only stopping females, is he that desperate to get information and stalk them? Seriously.
Well, it is very uncomfortable that he asked, for me anyway, he asked them for their IDs. Like, the IDs are not going to show that they're poker players. It's just identifying who they are. So, the whole thing just reeks of not only stupidity, but it's gross.
But is he a greaser? Is he looking for romance? And that's why he took a security job.
Yeah, I don't know.
What I mean?
And I'm going to hope for the best that he was just an idiot that day.
That is a good point, Donna.
Yeah, no. I mean, why is he asking them for their IDs? That's not going to prove they're a poker player and belong in that room.
I've never heard the term greaser, Donna.
Oh, believe me. Yeah, greaser. There's somebody else that's a greaser as well, but that shall remain nameless, and it's one letter.
LMNOPQRSTUV. We're going to
should have stuck on him.
Oh, you're so funny, and I love you for it. I wanted to bring up, unless anybody had more comments on that subject, if you do, just request and come on up, and we'll go right back to it. I want to bring up that Matt Berkey henchman put in our comment section. Are we going to talk this morning about the WSOP ignoring blatant cheating happening in the 08 number 15 event? I added the word event. More on this coming later today on Only Friends. So he tagged Mike Holtz, and Mike Holtz put out a tweet that said, 10 hands into sitting down at the PLO 8 1500. Every ace, 2, 3, 4 in both decks were marked. A woman who plays mixed grabbed both decks and was able to identify every ace through 4 from face down cards. The floor replaced the deck and told us they were not going to investigate. Any thoughts on that, Brian?
Well, first off, I mean, yeah, it is kind of weird that they would say they're not going to investigate, but I don't buy that they're not investigating. A lot of the stuff that, a lot of times they don't talk about the things that they're investigating. These people that you hear about, oh, this person's a cheater or that person's a cheater. People think they walk around the World Series without being looked at. That's just not a fact. Those people are being watched, and they're being addressed as they can. But yeah, that's crazy. That is totally crazy.
I agree with you that sometimes they just keep it hush hush because they don't want, they want to make it look maybe like they're not investigating, so that the fools think, oh, I still can do this because they're not investigating me, right? And they can easily set themselves up to be caught. Maureen, any comments on this subject?
Wow, I haven't read that. I definitely want to see what happens there. I've been at casinos before where if the deck was found marked, then they would stand there after everyone discarded their cards to make sure, they weren't marking it by accident, how they peeled. But in this situation, when the lady could identify the ace, 2, 3, and 4, that's absolutely crazy.
It's insane. Donna, any comments?
Yeah. I want to know if they have a fresh deck of cards every time they are playing an event, because that's going to be a hell of a lot of cards that they're going to have to go through. So it could be that there
You
was
mean-
marked on a different game. Do we know that? We don't know that. So that's something else that I think that needs to be looked at. Does every single deck have to be looked at every single time? Which is time consuming.
Well, and theoretically, the dealers are supposed to be looking at those decks every single time. As far as how they're replacing the decks or moving decks around on a daily basis, of course, I can't answer to that. But we do know that they do switch decks in and out for sure.
Yeah, I understand that. But there's a lot of new dealers that's quite green. And I don't think they will be looking out for marked decks, because all they're concentrating on is dealing, doing the chips, doing the cards, etc., etc. They will not be looking out for the marked cards, unfortunately.
I hear you.
There are some that's so experienced that can spot marked cards in a heartbeat.
Right. And I, as a player, I've called out marked cards before at a table. I'm like, dealer, this card's marked. Dealer, that card's marked. And I know others have done it as well. And, you know, as you said, the dealers are busy, right? So go ahead, Fats. What you got for us?
Well, this is such an easy problem to solve. First of all, I've never seen a marked card in my life because my eyes aren't good enough to catch it and follow them around. So I don't even know how these people do it. They must have really good eyes, but it's such a simple problem. There's two solutions. Number one, the casino could just mark all the fives through the kings before they start dealing. So now, after everybody marks the aces through the fours, then everything's even again. The other solution is, if you're sitting there playing and you see it, first of all, well, number one, you should just shut your mouth and take advantage of it. And even if you didn't do it, you know. And if you want to throw people off the scent, start marking, sevens and eights along the way to screw it up.
Okay, I'm muting Fats because we're not going to be talking about how to cheat at a poker table in my space.
I'm laughing here. I can't stop laughing.
He's not saying that. But Fats, in fairness, I got a real easy solution to this problem. Much easier than any of that. Get a bunch of your guys that you play with in New York and have them, buy back the casinos in Vegas. My grandmother said these problems didn't exist when the casinos were run by the mob, my friend.
All right,
wait, hold on. Let's get wait. First of all, what did I say about cheating? And second of all, when did I all of a sudden become associated with the New York mob?
I don't know.
Well,
you just seem like that kind of guy.
For the record, it's easy to, when people use their fingernail to mark the card, so then the card is no longer smooth. It's easy to find those because when I go to pick up my cards, I feel the bump on the card. So it's not that big of a deal or hard to find.
Yeah, but at that point, you don't need the mark. At that point, you don't need the mark because you're allowed to look at it.
Well, but you're missing the point. You said that you don't know how people spot the mark, but sometimes it's feeling the mark is my point. So,
yeah, but if you feel the mark, then you see the card. You're not spotting it. You don't know if the mark is good to the touch. You don't know if the guy 3 seats away has it or not because you can't feel his cards.
I can see the mark though. I'm going to let Barry Levy get in here.
You've got good eyes. Then you're one of. If you're one of the ones with the eyes good enough, then you're one of the ones that should be under investigation all the time.
I know it's you that says. Never mind.
If you can't see, you can't be under investigation for this.
I'm going to let Barry get in here with his questions or comments. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, this would have been a perfect segue to why women shouldn't play poker. Well, this is a twofold problem. The cards are cheap, and they get creased very easy by people squeezing, and anyone with any kind of fingernail, man, woman, hangnail, is going to dent the cards. And then the shuffle machine is going to intensify those creases because that's just what they do. So people think someone's intentionally marking the cards. They're just naturally squeezing because it's the shitty cards. They hold the indent more, and the shuffle machine makes it even worse. It's one of those same for me as it is for you. We all know people are going to be squeezing. We all know these cards are going to have indentations. It's just something that they're never going to be able to fix.
Well, and the thing about that is it's always in the same place of the card, right? So every card has that shuffling machine dent in it. I'm talking about, and we all know that people use their nails to purposely cheat and mark cards. It's happening. And we also know that sometimes it's unintentional, that they're not cheating, that it's just happened. They just happen to, maybe even just be disgusted in the hand and just go boom with their hand, with their nail, and it hits the card and dents it, and they don't even realize it when it's happening. So, it's all those things. All those things are happening. Go ahead, software.
Oh, I'm good, my friend. I think that this is a little different situation, Barry. I don't know if you heard, they were able to pick out like all of these specific cards, so aces and twos and whatever. It wasn't like all of them were marked or not marked.
Yeah, they were all the aces, all the deuces, all the threes, and all the fours were marked. And a lady at the table was able to take the decks and go through the decks and call out the cards. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to call because I don't think they're just gonna let some random player grab a deck and go through the deck and things like that. So there's got to be more to this fucking story that they're just
and
making up.
I agree there's more to the story for sure. But I also know when people are talking about marked cards, I have seen people say, here, let me prove to you that I know those cards are marked. And they say, give me the deck, and they go through the deck. So I've personally have seen that. It's very rare. I think I've only seen it twice.
Yeah.
It's very rare, but they are trying to prove to the dealer, look, these cards are marked, call somebody. And the dealer is like, wait, what? No, they're not, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, give me the deck and I'll show you how they're marked. I'll tell you. And they put the cards face down and they pull out the marked cards, and before they turn them over, they tell them what card it is. And it's insane because you're like, well, shit, I've been playing with these cards for 2 damn hours and somebody's been cheating. But anyway, go ahead, Isaac.
People marking cards has always been a trip to me because I get it if you're playing like a home style game where everybody deals, right? And at some point you're dealing and you can feel those cards. But when only one person is dealing, right? I'm trying to understand how marking the cards even makes a real difference.
Well, I'm not in the business of doing that, so I can't give any details. But if somebody wants to give up the fact that they cheat by marking cards and wants to come up and discuss it, or know somebody in their past that has talked to them about it, we would love to hear that information. Fats, go ahead.
So another part of the story that's not making sense. Are you saying that this deck was already marked when they started play, or that the entire was a brand new deck and it was marked after? I think you said something like after 10 hands or something like that. Then the lady wanted to do it.
Okay, I'm going to read the tweet again because I think it's just important to have the information as the person presented it, because of course I was not involved. And I want to thank Henchman for bringing this up to us this morning. Here is Mike Holtz's tweet. 10 hands into sitting down at the PLO 8 1500. Every ace 2, 3, 4 in both decks were marked. A woman who plays mixed grabbed both decks and was able to identify every ace through 4 face down cards. The floor replaced the deck and told us they were not going to investigate.
But further on down the thread, Mike says...
Here's the problem with that tweet from
Wait
a math standpoint.
Hold on a minute, Fats. Donna, go ahead. That's additional information. Tell us what...
Mike said, once it was pointed out, it was so easy to see them. They literally were all slightly bent in the middle. and it was really clear which were ace to 4.
Okay, go ahead, Fats.
All right. Well, if you do the math, it was 10 hands. Okay. And you're talking about 16 cards. Now, if there's only one person cheating, that one person in 16 hands, in 10 hands, would have had to have all 16 cards dealt to him in order to mark it. So, to me, that's not probable. So, everybody at the table is cheating and marking the cards.
Okay,
it's not just one person.
Let me be the devil's advocate, okay? Because I agree with what you're saying totally. But let me be the devil's advocate for just a minute. What if the dealer is in on it? Because one of his friends is at his table.
No, I'm not buying that the dealer's in on it.
Okay.
How's the dealer in on it? What's the dealer going to do to be
Mark
in on
the cards before they come out to the table.
Oh, he's marking them in the back before they come out?
I'm just telling you, I'm being the devil's advocate. I'm just saying what ifs. Let me tell you something. I think the security that is in place at the WSOP is amazing, and they do a great job to make sure we're not getting cheated. So I'm going to just say that up front. However, we have to take notice when something like this is brought up, because there's a kink in the chain of security somewhere. And we need to discuss it in order to figure it out. So that's all I'm saying. So go ahead, Maureen.
Yeah, so I would have to say, I don't know the exact process of the dealers, but for both decks to be marked, we know that they recycle cards. So did this happen in a previous event? But again, I would just suggest to people, if you do see marked cards, I always call it out and ask for a deck change and bring it to the dealer and the floor's attention.
Right on, sister. Isaac, go ahead.
I don't know, but after seeing some of the dealers I've seen at the WSOP, I mean, yo, do they even know what mark cards are? Do they even, some people are so green. I swear, yo. There were so many times last year. I hope this year is different, but last year I felt like there were at least 10 times where that dealer, that was the first time they were ever dealing. And it was scary.
And I'm going to tell you, Isaac, you and I and everyone in here have to mentor that new dealer so they get better and become the best dealer ever, so that we don't ever have to rely on new dealers. So we don't want to scare them off. We want to help them and be patient with them and know that, yes, it's a pain in the ass to have a green dealer, but we as poker players need to step up and help those new dealers. Go ahead, Fats.
I don't know.
You're sleeping.
No, it seems to me that just, I don't know, the whole marking cards thing. It's, first of all, you still don't know whether it's an ace, a 2, a 3, or a 4. I mean, can they get better at marking them so that we know exactly which is which?
Well, I'm under the impression from reading that tweet that they knew which ones were the ace, deuces, 3s, and 4s, that they were marked, and the lady called them out. So, I mean, that's the impression
she knew which
I got.
ones were the aces versus the 4s.
Well, and maybe I'm reading that wrong. What did everyone else feel? That like they could tell those numbers, or that they were just within that that spread of card, aces through 4s? What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, I'm with Fats here. I think that it sounded like she could just pick out the ones that were those
aces, true, 4s. Okay, perfect.
And were they playing like low draw or some kind of where that would be?
It was
relevant.
Didn't I say PLO something or other?
PLO 8.
There you go.
Yeah, so obviously that would be relevant.
Right, and I think Maureen's point of them recycling.
But on the other side, I'm sorry, what Fats is saying. Okay, so like that it's a low card, I guess. I mean, on the river that would help you, right, or whatever it's called in PLO.
I mean,
and I think Maureen's point is valid, that the cards are recycled and that they may have been marked in a different game, right? So I think
Could have
that,
been.
yeah, is something too. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, I agree with the recycled decks. And also, just go back to the quality of the cards. They're just really bad. Every year they change manufacturers and they're just terrible. And once you crease them a little bit, it tends to, the shuffle machine adds to it with the pressure that it puts. So even when they're not using the shuffle machine, it's just, especially with high-low, you dealt 4 cards and you're looking at squeezing the first couple and you see 2 small ones. Now you're squeezing harder just to try and squeeze out another third wheel card and a fourth wheel card. So it makes you squeeze harder and you're making the indentation worse. That's why all the small cards are indented worse than the kings and the queens. Because if you see a king and a queen, you're not squeezing anymore. You're ready to muck your hand. So that's usually what happens in those high-low games.
Okay, thank you for that. Go ahead, Fats.
Yeah, I just wish they would get better at it and they could, mark the suits and get the numbers right too. So, we really have a clear indication of what what these marked cards are.
You're a shit.
Let's keep it fair. Let's just play face up.
Fats, you're so funny. Okay, anybody else have any more comments on the subject? If not, I'm going to move it along. Last chance. Anybody in the goo, if you want to come up with questions or comments, feel free to request that microphone in the bottom left corner of your screen. Hit the request button and we'll bring you right up. I want to take some time to talk about some fun facts about Hall of Fame inductees. In 2005, Jack Binion, a very well-known name in the world of poker, became the president of the Horseshoe. I'm sorry. In 2005, Jack was inducted, and he became the president of the Horseshoe in 1963. In 2006, Jack became the chairman of the Wynn Resorts, and his responsibilities were included opening the Wynn Macau. Since he has retired, a very well-known name in poker, Jack Binion. 2005, we saw the second inductee, Crandall Eddington. He was nicknamed Dandy because he was always well-dressed. Dandy participated in the first WSOP in 1970 alongside Amarella Slim, Doyle Brunson, Sailor Roberts, Puggy Pearson, and Carl Cannon. In 2006, TJ Coulter was inducted. Some fun facts about TJ. He briefly played in the Pro Football League in Canada. He also co-authored 4 books with Tom McAvee. Another fun fact about TJ was he was one of many players to be turned away at the 2009 main event because registration was capped on that day, and he faulted himself for not signing up early. I thought that was kind of a fun fact that people were being turned away from the main event. In 2006, Billy Baxter was inducted. In 1975, on the way home from their honeymoon, Billy and his bride stopped in Vegas. They ended up living there in a hotel for 9 months while Billy played poker for a living. He is best known for staking Stu Unger for his 1997 main event, which Stu won. So those are some interesting and fun facts about some of our Hall of Fame inductees. I'm going to go around the horn here. It shows that Fats's hand is still raised.
Did you say
So we're going to start with,
McAvee and meaning McAvoy?
oh, McAvoy. Thank you, McAvoy. You know me and names. Please feel free to correct me. McAvoy, Tom McAvoy. Appreciate that. They wrote 4 books together, and those books are still popular today. Fats, we're going to go around the horn. You have anything you'd like to bring up this morning?
No, I think I did. Oh, crap. I just ran into aces.
Oh, shit.
What are you playing, Fats? Tell us what you're playing.
I'm in the $55, 5,000 guaranteed. I just went out 4th.
Oh, well,
But that's okay.
That's a great run.
That's a cash for $5.90, so that's okay.
Nice.
What a
Congrats.
great run, Fats. I was going to say, as we were winding up, good luck to you on your final table. But obviously I was a little bit too late, but congratulations on your win and your deep run.
Barry, I'm going to toss it to you next. Anything you'd like to bring up when you head to Vegas, bud?
And going down Sunday. And I got nothing to add. Fats did enough damage.
We will look forward to railing you next week, Barry. Keep us updated and join us when you can, for sure. You know, you're one of my favorites, and we go back in these poker spaces a long way. And hopefully one day we'll meet up face to face. Isaac, you have anything you'd like to bring up or add?
Nah, just y'all have a great day. Love the space. See y'all tomorrow morning. Hope
Wow.
hope you win all your runouts and yeah.
I love that. And thank you for your contributions today. We appreciate you following us along every morning. Donna, any last things you'd like to bring up or say?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out some friends of mine that's in Vegas right now, which is Chris Cunliffe. I don't know whether Andy Wilson's there, Bowie Effects. I just had his name and it's forgotten. It's gone. James Ablett. He loves playing at the Aria, Cash, and he also plays Cash at the Bellagio too.
Awesome.
And obviously Espen when he gets there. Just like to say, well, if you hear anybody coming up to you and saying wind your neck in, that's support from me from over here. Because I know quite a lot of the reporters over there, so like I'm going to be sending them DMs and saying, oh, which table you're at and stuff like that, and I'll just go over to them and say, go to this table and just say wind your neck in. And if you get a wind your neck in, you know it's from me.
I love that. Awesome. Maureen, any last thoughts or anything else you'd like to bring up?
Yes, I actually have some breaking news that came out on X. So our friends at Card Player Lifestyle, Robbie Stravinsky, he just posted that the Poker Hall of Fame ballot is now open online.
Whoop, whoop. That means you can make a submission.
Yeah.
Of course, we want John Sununu submitted, so please consider him. Matt Savage, JJ Liu would be three off the top of my head. Thanks for bringing that up, Maureen. And, you know, we will be discussing Hall of Fame for the days upcoming. And hopefully John is going to be inducted this year. As you guys know, pushing hard. And Brian and Donna and everybody's climbed on board with that push. So thank you guys. Brian, anything you'd like to add?
Good luck to Negreanu today. He's going for his third cash of the series, and this one is already set up to be his best. So hopefully he can make it deep in there. But remember, he's my third pick in that. So I only get 3 out of 11, Sherry.
I hear you. And Robert Mizraki is my number one pick for that one. And I wish them all well. And Grandma, thank you for joining us today. We are happy to have you. And, you know, one day your son won't hog the mic and he'll actually let you speak with us for a while. But we thank you for your son because he's quite the man and he's quite a great example for all of us. I just want to thank everybody who has joined us today and who's going to join us on replay. We appreciate you, and good luck on the felt today, everybody. Bye.
Thanks. Have a great day, guys.
Bye. Thank you, Grandma.
Bye-bye.